All right, welcome back. My name is Vineet. You're watching NewsX. Home Minister Amit Shah has given a detailed speech on the Waqf Amendment Bill. He has clarified that no non-Islamic member will be a part of the Waqf and called opposition's claims tactics to instill fear. The Parliament has witnessed an intense debate after the government tabled the Waqf Amendment Bill 2025. We'll talk about this with our guest. Joining us at this point in time is Mr. Tehseen Poonawala. He's a political analyst. Also with us on the show is Shazia Ilmi, BJP spokesperson. Tehseen, I'll come to you momentarily. Let me in fact rope in Shazia Ilmi into this conversation. Shazia, the Home Minister just spoke. He said that for decades now there has been an atmosphere of unfairness. The Waqf has conducted its affairs in a manner which is not only unconstitutional but also not for the benefit of its own community, that is the Muslim community. What do you make of what the Home Minister said?
Brilliant. I think it was honest, and all of us know who've grown up in Muslim localities, such as I, who grew up in Kanpur, Chamanganj, as a Sunni Muslim. I will tell you that it's a worst kept secret, the corruption of Waqf. And time again, not just, BJP is the first one to actually talk about it, but whether it's the Congress party, Mr. Rahman Khan, who talked about the Karnataka Waqf corruption, or Mamata Banerjee, who in 2011 actually ordered a CBI probe against the corruption and rampant corruption of Waqf board in West Bengal. And she alleged that it happened during Jyoti Basu's time, to as late as Lalu Prasad Yadav, who actually said how Waqf board has actually managed to encroach, take over all the prime property in areas. So we all know that, but nobody wanted to do anything about it. But the whole idea of, and let me tell you, as everybody's talking about practicing Muslims. So let me tell you, the whole idea of Waqf, any Muslim will tell you, you can read and check up, is awqaf, charity, insaf. It is actually meant for the poor. And now the biggest question, the question that begs to be asked and answered, is that the biggest land holding enjoyed by one community, that is that of Waqf, enjoyed by the Muslim community. And you see, down the years, Muslims are the poorest, least literate. If at all they've got something, they've got in last 10 years in terms of Awas Yojana or Ujjwala Yojana or Mudra Yojana in terms of microcredit. But starting from 2006, Rajinder Sachar Committee, which says Waqf board needs complete revamping, reconstruction, and we need to relook at what's happening in the Waqf board so that they can actually have something for the poor. And the whole idea is not to give it to malls, not to encroach upon it and give it to some private builder and a hotelier, and to keep getting some money under the table, but to actually go out there and make schools and colleges for poor Muslims, or have shelter homes for poor Muslim women, those who are divorced. That is the whole idea of Waqf. Please read about Waqf, and I think any Muslim anywhere in the world will tell you what it is. None of it, and every time I have asked or anybody's asked, please give us a list. And we're looking at 9 lakh registered properties. Overall properties that we're learning is how much has gone from 1913 to 2013.
Okay.
How much it has gone from 2013 to 25 is another story altogether. So can you imagine? I mean, this was being done to discriminate against the poor Muslims. So this is the biggest attack in the death knell of Muslim feudalism. The feudal lords of Muslims who kept the 85% of Muslims.
Shazia, let me also bring in Tehseen into this conversation. Tehseen, would you like to respond to what Shazia has said? In fact, let me also take an excerpt out of what Mr. Kiran Rijiju also said in the Parliament today. He said that had it been for the Waqf board, they would have given the Congress or the UPA would have given the Parliament to them. How do you respond to these statements coming out of the Parliament today, and what does this really tell us necessarily about the Waqf board that is obviously in need of reform?
Thank you so much, Vineet, for having me on the show. Good evening to you, to my fellow panelists and to all the viewers. Happy Navratri, because Navratri festival is on. Since you quoted the Honorable Minister for Minority Affairs, it is extremely unfortunate that the Honorable Minister speaks as if he's speaking in a WhatsApp university, then in the Parliament of India. Extremely unfortunate. These debates you expect from BJP spokesperson on TV shows, you don't expect it from a minister in parliament. Parliament will be taken over by the Waqf board. How can it be taken over? Taj Mahal will be taken over. Supreme Court will be taken over. What is taken over? Vineet, you are pregnant or not pregnant? You can't be half pregnant. You agree with me?
I can't hear.
Hello?
Oh, I wasn't hearing.
I can hear you, Tazeen.
Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you, Tazeen.
Hello?
I can hear you.
Yeah,
You're,
thank you.
You're live.
Yeah,
You're
one
live.
is pregnant
keep,
or not
keep
pregnant.
speaking
One,
until I tell
thank
you.
you. Thank you. There's a delay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. One is pregnant or not pregnant. You can't be half pregnant. Similarly, there is either parliament is taken over or not taken over. It can't half be taken over. If there was an attempt by somebody to take it over, but they couldn't take it over, that means the law is not powerful enough to take it over. If they couldn't take it over, why did you need reforms? If they could take it over, how come it's not taken over? No, just WhatsApp. What comes in WhatsApp, you'll speak now in parliament. It's unfortunate. There are amendments that the Waqf Bill requires, and the 2024 amendments, some are very good clauses. A separate Waqf for Aga Khanis, for Boris, very good. You require some sort of jurisdiction, involvement of women, right. But what are the fundamental issues that we need to also discuss? Is this a violation of Article 26, not Article 25? None of the ministers have spoken about Article 26. Is this a violation of Article 26, which is specifically to do with religious minorities and their trusts? Nothing to do with religious body. You're not talking about that. Does this infringe upon the 7th schedule? Nobody's talking about this. Does this infringe upon Article 300, which is the right to property? Again, they're not talking about this. What is the argument being made? Women have to be empowered. I agree, women should be empowered. It's shameful women are not on the Waqf committees. All Waqf boards are appointed by the state governments. How many state governments BJP is in power in? Why did they not appoint women on the Waqf boards in those states? Is there any rule that stops women from being appointed? These are rhetoric that the BJP indulges in. There is no answer that they're getting or want to give.
But Tehseen, there's obviously a big question mark over how the Waqf has come upon properties that necessarily did not belong to them. And many a times the people who say that these properties were usurped by the Waqf board had no provision in law to claim them back, and that was all done under the garb of minority appeasement.
Again, an absolute lie. Absolute lie. Couldn't be far from lies. Example number one. The Honorable Minister said they would have taken over Parliament. No, nobody was able to take over Parliament or any court or Taj Mahal. In fact, the Taj Mahal case went to the Honorable High Court. They got a kick. Now, number two. Let's assume what the Honorable Minister or the BJP is saying, that properties have been taken over. The Honorable Home Minister today clarified in Parliament that this bill is not retrospective. So if somebody's properties have been taken over illegally by Waqf, you anyways can't do anything about it because it's not retrospective. So what is the point of complaining? Then the Honorable Minister himself says, forget, that's Honorable Amit Shah ji, that forget this, Waqf properties have been encroached upon. If they've been encroached upon, what has the government done to remove them? Because the Act does not allow for encroachment, even in the current form without the amendment. Nothing you've done. Most are state governments of the BJP, nothing they've done. Look at the arguments that are being made, except for rhetoric. I am asking specific questions regarding Article 26, Article 300, 7th Schedule of the Constitution. Answer is, oh, you could have taken over Parliament. Is that an answer? Oh, you had taken over something in the past. Okay, they've taken over. What are you doing to remove it? Does this bill address that concern? It doesn't address that concern. So actually there is no answers to the questions being raised.
Okay,
the question is something else.
Let
Shazia
respond. Let Shazia respond. Shazia, in fact, Mr. Gogoi in Parliament today went on to the extent of saying that whatever these amendments are, they are unconstitutional and they should not be allowed. In fact, what he also said that this is a way of deflection to the real failures of the BJP government, and this should not in no way be allowed. How do you respond to such statements being made by Mr. Gogoi today?
I think the very fact that Mr. Gogoi talked of this as a way to dismiss the other misgivings of others, of what they call failures, the very fact that he refused to speak on Waqf board itself in the bill shows that he didn't have much to say. So that is conjecture. That is their presumption that you anyway are speaking against the community. But Tarun Gogoi should have answered as to what he and his party have done for Muslims. vis-a-vis the Waqf properties, and whether they have fulfilled the objective of Waqf, which is doing something for the very poor Muslims. That is the whole idea of Waqf. But instead of answering that, he said, oh, you know, BJP is a terrible party. BJP is against Muslims. I mean, I can say that because I have nothing else to say. And that's exactly what he did. So I will not go by all those who are deflecting. I will talk about Waqf per se and the bill and the amendments, and will bring it back, because people who are running away from the topic and are saying, oh, you know, this party is very evil, have actually nothing to say. Please go back to the bill, how it existed, what 1995 did, how the Waqf Board and Waqf Council came into being, what unbridled powers were given. And it is not a lie. I could not hear my good friend Tehseen, but I can tell you, right from CGO to Parliament to huge areas were given an unbridled access to in 1995 to Waqf properties. And who did they help? They did not help Muslims. So let's not make it about religion, because this is nothing to do with religion. This is the very rich, creamy layer of the Muslims. That's one. And all ashrafs, which is a higher caste. So people like us don't need that, but it was meant for others who are talking about it. Now each and every board, we are looking at 30 boards. We're looking at 2 union territories. We're looking at 1 central board, and we're talking about 27 others. Now you look at this, each one of them, if you look at each one of them, if Amanatullah Khan, just recently, he actually filed charges when he took over as a Waqf member and a chairperson against the former Congress leaders, Harun Yusuf and others. Then finally, when he was there, then other board members filed cases, and there was evidence, which is why there's a probe going on. And there is evidence of graft, that you take huge amounts of land, you don't start any university for Muslims, any medical college, any hospital, anything charitable, any small school, primary education, none of that. That you want someone else to do. For this, what do? You end up giving it to a builder, private builders. In fact, so many properties in Delhi, in Bangalore, Bengaluru now, and many other places have been taken away. So actually, who's been discriminated against by the feudal lords, Muslim feudal lords of these Waqf bodies, are poor Muslims, in fact. So anybody who actually cares for the really poor Muslim, the impoverished, backward, pasmanda, and a woman would be for the Sanshodhan or the amendment, so to speak.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, appreciate Shazia, you took out the time and spoke to us. Tehseen, thank you so much. We've unfortunately have to move on. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining. Well, at this point in time, Mr. Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, former Union Minister, is joining us on the broadcast as well. Mr. Naqvi, हमसे बातचीत करने के लिए आपका बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद सर. सर, आप इस बात को समझने में हमारी मदद कर सकते हैं कि ये जो वक्फ अमेंडमेंट बिल है, इसके पीछे विजन क्या है, और जो हमारे देश का जो मुस्लिम समुदाय है, उनके लिए क्या बदलेगा?
देखिए, ये अमृत काल चल रहा है, और इस अमृत काल में जो प्रेजेंट वक्फ सिस्टम है, उसके मंथन से मुझे पूरा यकीन है कि अमृत ज़रूर निकलेगा. और इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूँ कि अमृत ज़रूर निकलेगा कि जो वर्तमान वक्फ सिस्टम है, उसकी असंवैधानिक अराजकता, उद्दंडता को संवैधानिक प्रतिबद्धता के फ्रेमवर्क में लाना, दायरे में लाना, वक्त की भी ज़रूरत है और वक्त की भी ज़रूरत है. क्योंकि आज जिस तरह के वक्फ के पूरे सिस्टम को लेकर के अविश्वास का माहौल है, विवाद है, पूरी तरह से कन्फ्यूज़न है, कंट्राडिक्शन है, कन्फ्लिक्ट है, उसको करेक्ट करने का सही समय.
सर, वक्फ अमेंडमेंट बिल जो है, उससे एक रेगुलेशन आएगा, एक सामान्य कानून आएगा, पर आपको लगता है कि इससे मुश्किलें भी बढ़ेंगी उन लोगों के लिए जो वक्फ का और इस बोर्ड का दुरुपयोग करते रहे?
देखिए, कुछ लोग जो है वो हमेशा हर जो है वो संवैधानिक सुधार पर सांप्रदायिक प्रहार करने के आदी हो गए हैं, हैबिचुअल हो गए हैं, हिस्ट्री शीटर हो गए हैं. और ये लोग जो है वो हर संवैधानिक सुधार पर आप एक हिस्ट्री देख लो कि जितने भी, चाहे वो इकोनॉमिक हो, चाहे वो सोशल हो, चाहे वो और भी जो हो, उस पर होते हैं. तो उस पर हर एक पे देखिएगा आपकी हर संवैधानिक सुधार पर जो है वो सांप्रदायिक वार करने की उनकी एक आदत बन गई है. दूसरी चीज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि जो पूरा के पूरा वक्फ सिस्टम है, उस वक्फ सिस्टम में इस तरह की जो अराजकता और उद्दंडता है वो कहीं ना कहीं जो है वो वक्फ सिस्टम को ही घुन की तरह खाए जा रही है। और आज की तारीख में कुछ लोग जो है वो एक आदत बन गई है कि कम्युनल कुएं से कॉन्स्पिरेसी का कॉकरोच ढूंढो और पूरे देश में कन्फ्लिक्ट पैदा करो, कन्फ्यूज़न पैदा करो, बिखराव और टकराव का माहौल पैदा करो। लेकिन इस बात
नकवी साहब, मुस्लिम समुदाय में भी इस बिल को लेकर, इस बदलाव को लेकर समर्थन है, पर ऐसी भी एक छवि क्रिएट की जा रही है कि ये जो बिल है ये मुसलमानों के या मुस्लिम समुदाय के खिलाफ है। आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
देखिए, एक बात सुन लीजिए आप। पहली बात तो मोदी जी का जो है वोट जो विकास का मसौदा है या सुधार का मसौदा है, वोट वोट का सौदा नहीं है कभी भी। हाँ, ये बात सही है कि वक्फ के इस सुधार से न ईमान ख़तरे में है न इस्लाम ख़तरे में है। जो इस्लाम के जो है वो 5 पिलर हैं, कलमा है, नमाज है, रोज़ा है, हज है, ज़कात है। ये कौन सा पिलर हिल रहा है? उसके अलावा जो लगभग जो है वो 7 लाख रजिस्टर्ड धार्मिक स्थल है, अविवादित धार्मिक स्थल है, वो सुरक्षित होंगे। आप वहाँ पर जो है वो अपने आस्था और अपने से जुड़ी हुई चीज़ें करिए।
नकवी जी, हमसे बातचीत करने के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। All right, let's also get some more voices into the conversation. Saif Ali Naqvi, Congress spokesperson, with us on the broadcast. Joyita Basu, editor of the Sunday Guardian, with me in the studio as well. Now, Joyita, you've heard a number of arguments for and against this particular amendment bill. But the fact of the matter is that pervasively, it has been more or less established. The Home Minister also said it very eloquently that the property management part of the Waqf board has always been in question. There have been irregularities, there has been a miscarriage of the justice system as well, and that is exactly what the point is to bring in this amendment. But the fact of the matter is, Joyita, that once again there seems to be an attempt to trivialize this matter, to communalize this matter, and of course it's the opposition that is being blamed for that. And these are some of the comments that I am in fact paraphrasing out of what we heard in the parliament today.
No, the thing is, you see, Waqf board, it needed amendment. It goes without saying it needed amendment, and it's good that this step has been taken. And not just that, you see, opposition will oppose because it's in the nature of the opposition to oppose. But I wish they had presented more credible arguments beyond going, I mean, they had gone beyond the politics part of it, because it's all about politics. I mean, ever since morning, all I have heard about is, you are treating the Muslims badly, you are treating your, you are communal, this, that, whole lot of things. Now, if you go through that Waqf board, the provisions that are there already in the Act, and whatever these Waqf people are doing, and the amendments that have been made, I mean, where is the question of hurting Muslims coming in at all? There is nothing like that. I would say it has been democratized in the sense that this was being controlled by a group of, I would say, clerics who were using these properties for their own interests. And as we heard from our esteemed panelists earlier, what they were talking about, how these provisions have been misused. If you are allowing commercial property to come up on what you are calling Waqf property, and then you are the only one, or maybe a group of people, you are the ones who are benefiting from it, how is it helping your community? It's as simple as that. It's ultimately what we are witnessing is rampant corruption. Okay? So, if this is a move towards cleaning up that corruption, towards clearing up that corruption, why not? And even among the Muslims, there are so many people who are supporting this, this amendment. So, I just don't understand, I mean, there are certain, and even among the opposition leaders and opposition figures, so many of them, Mamata Banerjee for instance, had a problem with the way the Waqf board was functioning in West Bengal. So, when you are talking about these things, think about, you see, the problem, the mistake that all these political parties make is that they think public is a fool. Okay, the people do not know anything, people do not understand anything. The message has already gone to the ground, even among the Muslim community, that this act is not against them, this amendment is not against them. So, whatever these people are doing right now in the Lok Sabha, talking about communalism and all, it's all vote bank politics. They think, they will be able to, basically all these religious leaders who kind of they are beholden to these people, they think they will get the votes. And that is the reason why it is typical vote bank politics that they are playing, nothing more than that. But what is needed is the reform, and that reform is happening, and that is very good, I would say.
Okay, Saif Ali Naqvi, you've heard both sides. This is an important amendment. Do you think there is a need to politicize this? The Congress party obviously spoke in the parliament today. Mr. Gogoi went on to the extent of saying that this is something that the Muslim community is not going to accept. And of course, the Home Minister shot back. He said that this is the law of the land. Everybody has to accept it. They have no choice.
Beneath, what I would say is Congress has always protected all religious endowments, and whether it's been Hindu temples, whether it's been Sikh gurdwaras or Christian missionary properties. We believe in the secular ethos that has been embedded in our constitutions. BJP, after the gross failure of CA, NRC, farm laws, demonetization, Women's Reservation Bill, triple talaq, is running out of poll promises. And this is just BJP's way of creating a fake controversy and diverting attention from unemployment, inflation, and government's failure vis-a-vis the taxes which Trump is putting. This is just a diversion tactics. BJP has always believed in dividing the community, and with so many states that are going for polls in times to come, this is just they want to divert attention from the real issues that are that have caught the country by the storm. What I would say is, as far as BJP is concerned, they're not worried about the Muslim fraternity. I think what they should be worried about is how much land China has annexed and come inside our country. What they should worry about is, the way in which the laws have been implemented. Congress has also revised laws, but always believe in including the opposition, including the stakeholders, and the way JPC has functioned over a period of few months. It has a huge question mark, the way things have been put forth, and the way this bill has been put forth by the government. I believe authority without accountability is the way this government is functioning, and the way they're functioning, I believe people will give an answer in the next election in times to come.
Joyita, would you like to respond to this, that it is perhaps a deflection of sorts? But that does not mean, any government, Joyita, at any particular time will face multiple challenges. Is this an argument which you can endorse?
Well, I forget about, I am not a person to endorse anybody. I am a neutral voice over here. But I wish the opposition would stick to the subject and not veer off and go off to China and Timbuktu and wherever it is. The thing is, you see, it is about the Waqf Bill, it is about the Waqf Amendment Bill. Go through the provisions one by one instead of wasting time shouting at the parliament, which the opposition has been doing. You should have spent more time going through with a tooth comb every provision that has been decided by the government. That is something they should have done. I don't think they have done their homework, and now they are talking about they are just doing politics. Where is the due diligence that you have done? Where have you studied the bill? Have you raised your objections? I mean, we are not hearing anything since morning. All we are hearing about is, communalism, communalism, communalism. You guys are doing this, you guys are doing that. Nothing constructive is coming from the opposition. You think the country will trust such an opposition when you are just opposing something for the sake of opposing it? No, parliament does not function like this. You see, this is the first lesson that the opposition needs to learn, is to behave like a constructive opposition and not just talk about anything and everything under the sun.
All right. Joyita, appreciate you joining us, Mr. Naqvi. Thank you so much for being here.